Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Steelback Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the 12th race in the 2019 NRSL Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series. We're getting ready for 140 laps of action at this .71 mile oval short track we've never been to on this channel, and hopefully it provides a good race. Caution flags are off. It is a new norm for short tracks after the test race here. Was good in the beginning, and it was crap at the end, and then there was a really weird glitch, and that is why we will not have cautions on now for any short tracks. So, with that said, even Bristol Dirt in the playoffs, I will keep it consistent. Short tracks and road courses, no cautions. On the pole is Nate Rogers. He might finally get that first win, his first career win. Back in 2017 came at Richmond, which is a track of similar length but not similar layout. So we'll see if he's able to get another win on a track close to quarters of a mile in length. Next to him is Zachary Fitzwater Sr., who has been on a roll. Fitzwater got his first win on the year last week at Springfield, and he'll be looking for a second win here today. Row 2 is James Shelley and Sebastian Kukulon. Row 3, Dylan Young, Levi McIntyre. Row 4, Alex Gray, who's also been consistent with his teammate William Brock. And in row 5, defending champ Johnny Gardner with Mark Riggleman. We'll go over the standings really quick. Top 12 in points: Jonathan Zorlin, Fitzwater, Gray, Austin Alves, Kukulon, Brahmer, Shearer, Sick, Nico Tringali, Marty Johnson, Johnny Gardner, and Jessica Shelton. And with that, we'll go trackside.
Drivers, start your engine!
So again, we'll go over the standings here. 3 wins from Zorlin, 2 from Brahmer and Nico Tringali, and then a single win each from Fitzwater Sr., Alves, Kev Shearer, and Johnny Gardner. Shelton has 5 points over Jose Mills, and then 10 over John Arndt. 15th to 20th is William Flickinger, Charles Jackson, Rob Evans, Zach Flickinger, Cole Deaver, and Jay Jefferson. Pace car made the hard left turn into pit road. Fuel here is roughly 60-65 laps. There is a decent amount of tire wear on this short track. I mean, it's deceivingly small. Here we go. Are you ready for some short track action? Steelback Stadium this week, LA Center next week, and then the Dodge Motordrome. 3 weeks in a row of pavement short track action. Off of turn 2, Fitzwater gets a pretty good run. It looks like this could be a high lane track, and that indeed appears to be the case, as Fitzwater will clear Nate Rogers for the lead. William Brock making moves on the top. This track seemingly similar to the Dodge Motordrome. See, Gardner actually made a move to the top line because he knows he's getting outrun on the bottom. Now as William Brock moves up to 6th, McIntyre up to 5th. Brock moves to the inside of McIntyre, but nothing going. Now McIntyre moves down to the inside of Shelley, as Sebastian Kukulon goes up to 2nd place. The top rookie on the season could be looking for career win number 1 here today. He came close at Rockingham, and the consistency's been there for the driver of the 9 car. However, this team, Bulldog Motorsports, will not be driving darts next year, which is kind of shocking considering it's the year of 3 rookie drivers that are bringing the performance into the game, but these decisions get made so early now when the cards all come together like this, especially after winning 13 races last season, to have even the great consistent success they're having with the rookies is amazing. So Kugelon runs behind Fitzwater in second. Shelley sits third, McIntyre fourth, and Nate Rogers has cleared for fifth. But Johnny Gardner in sixth continues to make gains on that middle lane. And he'll clear William Brock for sixth, as now Brock's under fire from Dylan Young, who's made his way into the top 10. And there's almost a three-wide battle for 10th between Gray, Miller, and Ryan Brommer. So far we've seen no instances of contact. Miller and Gray now race side by side for 10th place. See, Gray kind of gets a bit of an advantage. He's actually holding pretty equal. And Gray manages to clear Andrew Miller, so it looks like you can pass on the bottom. It's just very difficult. The top 8 or so have cleared. Nate Rogers has got a bumper full of Johnny Gardner, clearly faster than the 83. As James Shelley works his way up towards Sebastian Kugelon, let's go on board the room camera of the Virginia native. Let's actually keep this up. They've got a little bit of tire where you can kind of see kind of the arc of the corner. Max speed of 145 miles an hour. See, it really flattens out on exit. But Shelley and Kugelon continue to chase Fitzwater Sr. Let's go to the back of the pack. Oh man, back here we've got Peter Sands, John Arndt. Jonathan Zorland's back here all the way in 39th. Not a good run going for the driver of the 5 and your points leader at that. Same with Marty Johnson, who's been a really good rookie driver this year. Austin Alves is back here. Seth Cole, who's yet to win in 2019. Final 4 driver from last year. Not running well. Jessica Shelton has been on a cold streak since she started the year with 4 top 5s in I believe 5 or 6 races. Pensacola winner Kev Shearer in 25th. Cole Deaver, rookie standout star from last year, hasn't won yet. He's battling to get into the top 20 here, and bottom line's not working out for him at all. Oh, and there's a wreck. Mills, Oskin, and Qualls are around. Austin Alves, Phil Parker, Zorland, and others get involved. Marty Johnson is slow. Fitzwater hits the brakes, but Alves has teleported away, but he gave up a ton of time doing that. As Oskin will go down pit road, Gatlin Downey's down pit road. Looked like a 3-car contact thing there, but Mills, Parker, they have damage. Johnson looks clean. Arndt, Evans, Sorlin, Sands, they might have had some contact, I'm not sure. But Oskin and Downey are on pit road. And Austin Alves is done for the day. So tough break for Alves, who coming in was 4th in points, and he's probably going to drop almost out of the top 10. As Andrew Miller we see is slow on track. As he'll fall from inside the top 10, 20 almost. Oh, and there's another wreck. Jefferson and Seth Cole are around. Pandemonium breaking out here at Steelback Stadium, as everyone is starting to wreck each other. Is there anything else we might be missing? It looks like there's a lot of craziness going on. Jefferson's now down to 36th. will look at everything when the race is over. James Qualls with back end damage from that wreck. This is allowing those who are missing these accidents to keep going. Some of them, they're getting more positions than the others. Points are points. Charles Jackson back here fighting for 14th with Zach Flickinger. Jackson got a win at Iowa back in 2017. Now the leaders race with the lap down cars who took 4 fresh tires. Doesn't seem to be doing much if they've got a lot of performance damage. Tringali easily gets by Simmet Oskin. Tringali sitting in 12th. TJ Hanley in the top 10 running in 10th, doing pretty good right now. Mark Riggleman up to 9th. Top 6 or so remains the same as Kukulon and others continue to chase this guy right here. So Seth Cole's bad season continues. He's out along with Austin Alves. That leaves us 40 cars on the track. And only Fitzwater has run a lap time under a 21.0. Jay Jefferson will rejoin the race. Jefferson is 4 laps down, I believe, maybe 3. Okay, he is 3 down. It looks like we're all but single file around the racetrack. Ooh, that was close. Shelton really tucked her nose in behind Curtis. Thought he might have got turned there. That's where these drivers seem to be causing wrecks. They're trying to tuck their nose in and they're cutting it too close and they end up spinning the guy out. And they put the driver in front of them and themselves in the wall. Ace Rogers and Ferranti about did that. That's for 24th place at that. Oh, there's some more contact. That's going to push Ace up the track. Now him, Mendez, and Curtis are 3 wide. Curtis backs out, and Ace will clear the 4. This is the type of stuff we're talking about here. Drivers got to be more careful. They're entering at different arcs into the corner, and that's what's almost causing these accidents. Side-by-side action up here between Quentin Moore and Tony Green for 19th. In front of him, Patrick Sick, Caleb Hoffman for 17th. And Moore will clear Tony Green for the position. Green right back on him on the bottom. Very good racing all around the track as lap times have fallen off by a good second. But it looks like Highline is still the way to go as Sick will clear Hoffman, the 2017 champion, without a win. As it looks like a main pack of cars going through Austin here. Some not so lucky as others as Brommer and Jackson do battle for 13th place. TJ Hanley has made it by Mark Riggleman for 9th, and Nico Tringali looks to get by him for 10th. And Tringali will clear him, so put Mark Riggleman to 11th and the 84 Tringali up to 10th. Now Gray's looking to the inside of Mark Riggleman. And Gray's gonna maybe get by him on the bottom. Very close, they're even down the back straightaway. This could be that experience from winning the short track last year, but Gray's really making Riggleman work for it as Brommer's thinking about putting his nose in the middle, 3 wide. Brommer maybe trying to help a forward, but being really aggressive as Jackson just about makes contact with the 21. As Levi McIntyre finds himself in 3rd place. Battle for 3rd between the 99 and the 1. McIntyre's getting him at the line and losing a ton of time doing it, but the 99 of McIntyre clears. Oh, someone was smoking. Someone else is damaged. And it's the 88 of Rob Evans. And it looks like the points leader of Jonathan Zorlin was involved. That will be a 3rd incident to take a look at after the race is over, but Zorlin didn't have a great run at Springfield, and now he's going to have an even worse run. And with this man right here, sitting 2nd in points, 62 points out. If this guy gets another win, you can take that points lead down from 62 points to about 10. Leader is off by a 1.5 seconds now, as McIntyre and Shelley race up to the back of Sebastian Kukulon. Now Alex Gray fights to get by Tringali for 10th. And the lap down car of Austin is way faster than the leaders due to pitting for his damage. Now Hanley side by side with Gray. Gray's trying to pass Hanley for 9th. He's just about doing it. He's got William Brock in front of him. Can Gray make a pass on the bottom? He's done it before today. Oh, it's still tight, side-by-side battle. Now Jackson to the outside of Tringali. Oskin's got all the grip in the corner, but no speed on the straights. This is going to make things dangerous. You can see Riggleman tries to get him back on the straights, but Oskin's got all the grip in the corner. Now Jackson's about to make it 3 wide. He's to the bottom of Hanley as Gray completes the pass. Or did he? Hanley got the run again. Does Gray complete it now? Oh, he still can't quite clear the 24 of TJ Hanley. Amazing side-by-side action. Oh, I think he got him this time. Well, TJ just fights back as hard as he can the next corner. It looks like he'll finally settle in line in 10th. Jackson and Tringali now, they fight for 11th. The lap car of Oskin right on their bumpers. As we see Evans and Sorlin have retired, that leaves us with 38 drivers on track. Mark Riggleman really holding up Zach Flickinger, who's up to 14th. Here on lap 44, we should see green flag pit stop soon. Cole Devers made it up to 15th place. Battles continue as Oskin, the lap down car with fresh tires. As Hanley's going to try and get back by Alex Gray due to William Brock slowing him up. And Hanley passes Gray. Now he's going to try and get up to 8th if he can get by Brock. As Mark Riggleman just dove down pit road at lap 47, so perhaps we're pitting earlier than I thought. I guess it's more so 48 laps, so everyone's probably going to pit twice today. And we're going to go up to the leader of Fitzwater, who is still on track, as are the cars behind him. So cars in the back of the field are pitting early. And the few laps they pit early, they're going to gain close to 2 seconds a lap. As Fitzwater will peel down pit road this time by Kugelon, McIntyre, and Shelley follow through. Looks like pretty much almost everybody else coming down except for a few. Zach Flickinger stays out another lap. Ryan Brommer, Kev Shearer. So Flickinger gets to lead the lap. Flickinger will come down this time. Cars are coming in. Cars are coming out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Curtis had also stayed out, and that's the end of the people who pit. See where Nate Rogers is. He was running 5th place when he pit. So we will watch Nate Rogers for now. Fitzwater should theoretically still be the leader. Curtis actually gets the lead a lap on pit road. Nate Rogers will come out of his stall in the middle of green, but green is lap down traffic. So now drivers will have to deal with the lap down traffic. And those lap down traffic cars will be fresher tires than them. And it looks like Nate Rogers is indeed ahead of Fitzwater. DJ Hanley back on the track. Looks like he must have suffered a really bad stop. And Nate Rogers is our race leader. Oh my goodness. Well, pit stops take a lot longer than I thought. Where Sebastian Kugelon had a very bad stop. He is way back. Charles Jackson 2nd, Johnny Gardner 3rd, Deaver 4th, Flickinger 5th, Diego Trigali 6th, Charles Sandberg, Kev Shearer, Riggleman, and Brommer. Where is Fitzwater? 33rd. Oh man, what happened to the 59? Massive problems on pit road for the leaders. Fitzwater 37th, 2 laps down. Shelley 34th, Alex Gray 33rd. Kugelon's down to 31st. Dylan Young 27th. Oh man, what on earth happened? Let's see if we can we'll take a quick break and I'll see if I can figure this out. Well, we're back and Zach Flickinger just got dumped from 4th. Unsure of who was involved, but I'm going to assume it was the 3 or the 84 or the 03. Since the 3 is back to 6th, I'm going to assume the contact was with him. And it looks like a decent amount of cars got some weird 30-second penalty that cost them a lap or so. Levi McIntyre is even 1 lap down, but others 2 laps down or more. So, don't think I'm going to come back here. Drivers most likely very upset on wondering what they did wrong. But depending how the last pit stop goes, it could either make or break a race win for the 83 of Nate Rogers unless he gets dumped. We just saw Zach Flickinger get dumped from 4th place. So who knows what will happen. And like I said, we'll look at every incident at the conclusion of the race. And you can see Oskin has yet to pit now since he pit earlier. So he is a literal roadblock. Charles Jackson appears to be closing in on Nate Rogers. Both drivers have a single short track win in their career. Nate at Richmond and Jackson at Iowa. Here's Jackson second place, but he's coming up on a bunch of lap traffic. Gatlin Downey on pit road for his scheduled stop. So now Jackson has problems. He's getting held up. He's losing time. They're 3 wide in front of him. Johnny Garner's below him for third or position as Green clears Jay Jefferson, who I believe has damage. Gardner peeking out, trying to find a way by McIntyre. As Jackson will fly by. Lost a whole 2 seconds from that. Oh, Jefferson has yet to pit, and Jefferson just went down pit road behind the 22. So Jackson loses a good 2 seconds because of that ordeal. That lets Tringali, Sanford, and Deaver catch up to second and third place. Shearer 7th, Riggleman 8th, Brommer 9th, and Zach Flickinger 10th. Curtis 11th. Mendez 12th, Hoffman 13th, Johnson 14th, and Jose Mills in 15th, surprisingly. Back up to the front, Nate Rogers leads over TJ Hanley, who is the first car 1 lap down. And it's clear some of these drivers are catching while others are just holding or falling. Jose Mills definitely slower than the 83, so Nate will try and find the way past him. Until he does, he will lose time. There you see that lap. Jackson gains back 4/10 of a second. As now Nate gets put to the bottom. So TJ Hanley trying to get his lap back here. There's no caution, so it's not like you can restack the field, but finishing on the lead lap is something good to do. See, the 83 loses a whole half a second that time because of the 24. So now Nate will fall back behind the 24. That puts John Arndt, the first car, 1 lap down as Hanley moves to the inside of Mills. Now Nate Rogers will try and pass Hanley up top. That lead continues to crumble. Now Nate's trying to pass Hanley with help from Jose Mills, but it's not working exactly, and that's allowing Arndt and others to catch up. You got to be careful in this situation because you do not want to get wrecked out like you did at Martinsville. And it looks like Nate will instead follow Hanley to the inside line. Trying to get by the 18 car, he's damaged. Leads now down to under 6 seconds. As Nate Rogers will finally clear Jose Mills, and he's got a pretty clean road ahead for now. Shelley, Young, Ace Rogers all running 20.9s at the start of this second run. The lead's down to 5.5 seconds as Jose Mills gets stumped. Ferranti's involved. And he'll get it back going. James Shelley will squeeze through. So Ferranti is dumped from 16th place, and he's heading straight down pit road to fix the damage. Something happened there with Mills, and now Mills has even more damage, this time to the front of his car. Tony Green was not involved. Kukulon might have had a little contact in that, as now Mills will dip to pit road. Jackson trying to work his way by a 1 lap down car, James Qualls. And he can't quite do it. It's just everything seems to happen going into turn 1. About 7 laps ago, we were halfway through this thing. Things are looking good now for Nate. He's actually gaining back on Charles Jackson, leads back up to 6.14 seconds. As Jose Mills will continue without the hood from his race car. No retirees. But Mills and Ferranti will fall 3 to 4 laps down. As Nate Rogers will continue to gap Charles Jackson, who's having issues with someone back there. I believe it is the 11. I mean the 27. The 11's having issues with 27. Yep, see, he lost track position to McIntyre and Shelley, even if it's not for position. Gardner still on his bumper from 3rd place. Nico Tringali close by in 4th. Got to go back a little ways to Sanford, who's in 5th. 6th place Kev Shears, 7th Cole Deaver. 8th Ryan Brommer. 9th Riggleman. 10th Zach Flickinger. 11th right here's DJ Curtis, and 12th Edwin Mendez. 13th Caleb Hoffman. 14th Marty Johnson. TJ Hanley 15th, driving away due to his fresher tires over the 83. And that's our lead lap cars, as Peter Sands is somewhat closing on the 83. And I think even the 9 and the 40 are closing up here. Patrick Sick gains a position on Alex Gray. And we are in the range of where these drivers can make it to the end, so I would not be surprised if someone dipped down pit road now and ran the full 50 laps. They'll gain a ton of time until everyone else pits, and then they will be on the defensive. Peter Sands closes up on Nate Rogers. Johnny Gardner has made it by Charles Jackson for 2nd place. Could Gardner get something he's never received? That a cup win at a short track. Pit stops and the rest of this run, including traffic experienced, will decide that. The lead continues to yo-yo for Nate Rogers. Nate started on the pole, fell to 5th, and then the top 4 all got weird penalties, and he's regained the lead. But Gardner, who started in 9th, has made it up to 2nd, benefiting from that as well. But he currently is losing ground to the 83 car. First stops were on lap 49. We should see the 2nd round in about 10 laps. Patrick Sick has been flying his way up here. He'll race by Peter Sands. He was probably one of the few who pit later that got a penalty. He's trying to clear the 12 just to get by him. And he will. Oh, but he gives him the top back. So These two race behind for 25th place, actually. It's Mark Riggleman's on pit road, and that signals the start of the last round of pit stops. As actually now we are in the 50 lap range. I'm sorry, I thought 80 to go was 50 laps to go for some strange reason. I can't math today, I guess. Nate Rogers, 2 seconds of wear right here, just showing how much these tires go down. As Oskin just got turned by James Shelley in the back as Tony Green heads down pit road. Patrick Sick moves to the inside, and Nate Rogers. This is going to hurt the 83, especially if he was trying to pit. Gardner still losing time. Nate will let the 20 car go. But pit road is pretty empty right now here on lap 94. Now Peter Sands to the inside of Nate Rogers. Here comes Alex Ferrante, who's already gone down pit road. Man's flying. He is probably about 4 laps down. Oh no, he didn't just go down pit road. He went down when he got wrecked earlier. So he's just got an insane amount of grip in the corner right now. It looks like Charles Sanford already pit for his service. As others begin to head down pit road, here comes the 83. Contact with Peter Sands and Ferrante as Sands wanted to pit but could not get down. And now he's glitching out. He'll have to continue around and pit next time by. As Nico Tringali, teammate to Nate Rogers, takes the lead. He's got problems from Fitzwater. Oh, but they're all coming down pit road. Even Ryan Brommer. Ooh, contact with Fitzwater. And I think Tringali got forced past his pit stall. Nope, never mind. It's over here. So I could have sworn he might have gotten forced past, which could have been disastrous. There's Nate Rogers leaving pit road. As Fitzwater will enter his pit stall. Tringali will get out of pit road. And not surprisingly, nowhere close to the lead, but there is someone right there. And it's Charles Sanford. Sanford pit tremendously early, and he has worked it to his advantage, and he will pass Nate Rogers for the lead at lap 100. Oh, and Nate Rogers just about wrecked himself and the 03. Spotter and crew chief most likely telling Nate to be patient. The 03 pit several laps earlier, let your tires come in. and you will get by him. So now we've got a ferocious fight for the lead. Gardner's only 3.27 seconds back, but they're going to go 3 wide. Sanford trying to get by Shelley. Nate trying to get by Sanford. And the aforementioned cars once again lost 2 more laps. So I am unsure what the glitch is, but that is saddening. Sanford gets by Shelley as Nate tucks in line. Curtis several laps down behind him. Gardner only 2.36 seconds behind in third. Mark Riggleman sits in fourth from pitting extremely early. Charles Jackson fifth. Nico Tringali with the fresh tires. Ryan Brommer, Cole Deaver, Marty Johnson, and Kev Shearer. That's our top 10 right now. Lap down car between Sanford and Nate Rogers. Gardner's got some people in his way. He's stuck at 2.3 seconds behind. But will Charles Sanford strategy his way into his first win of 2019? Remember, oh man, and Nate Rogers just about making contact with Shelley there. Sanford has just 2 career wins to his name. Watkins Glen in 2017 and Texas in 2018. A short track win would make him a 3-category ringer as he passes Ferrante, who's out there on older tires from a pitting for an earlier wreck. But man, Nate Rogers, this time, is it going to be just because someone had a better pit strategy than him? Meanwhile, back there we can see Gardner making a move. Now Sanford definitely does not have as fast as a car right now in the corners as Nate Rogers. And it looks like James Shelley car is coming to play, and he's about to wreck Charles Sanford just to get a lap back. That was pretty nuts. They were making contact sliding off the corner. 34 laps remain at Steelback Stadium. Now Nate Rogers stuck on the bottom of DJ Curtis as Gardner in the back up to 1.6 seconds clears Edwin Mendez. And that's what Nate Rogers doesn't want to see. He knows, hey, I've got fresher tires. I've got to get by him. But it's just not happening for Nate Rogers right now. He's stuck behind 2 lap cars with equal or stronger tires than him as Oskin comes down for his regularly scheduled pit stop, as does Jay Jefferson. No other retirees that we've missed. It's been pretty clean for a little bit now. Curtis to the outside of James Shelley as Gardner closes up from third place. Nico Tringali has gained a 1.5 seconds over the course of this run already. Question is, how many spots will he gain? The closest he's got is 5th place for Charles Jackson. How about this top 5 though? Only 1 win out of all of them. And that's Gardner in third. Nate Rogers is to the outside of James Shelley. He's got to be careful with how much he chops going into corners. Gardner's caught up now because of this as Curtis makes the same move Shelley did, just about wrecks the 03 himself, as Sam Oskin's going to come out on the track right in front of him. Sanford's stuck on the top. Nate Rogers is on the top. Here comes Gardner. 3-car battle for the lead here at the end of this thing. How about this for some short track action? Oskin's in the way. He's got fresher tires in the corner. Curtis on the bottom. Shelley on the bottom. They're trying to get by Sanford and Nate Rogers. Shelley could make it 3 wide. It could get dangerous. Gardner's back here just trying to figure out where to go. He's got Mendez on his bumper. Curtis is going to pass him. Ooh, Nate Rogers is going to duck in line right in front of Gardner. Shelley clears the 83. Or the 03. Never mind, he's not clear yet. But now Sanford knows he's got to fight. Gardner moves to the top. Is that the bad decision though? Because I think Sanford's tires are at the point where they're not as strong as the 83 or the 7. Side by side off of turn 4. Give the lead back to Nate Rogers at the line. 25 to go next time by, and he'll clear Sanford off of turn 2. Now the question will be is how many spots will Sanford lose over the rest of this run? Oh, he's going to get turned by Gardner, who turns him into Mendes, and somehow nobody hits the 4 car. Somehow nobody hit the 4 car there. Holy crap. That was insane. As Gardner now up to second, will try and track down Nate Rogers, who isn't going anywhere. Curtis and Shelley run behind Oskin. Nate Rogers, though, with slightly more worn tires, not really catching up to them. You can see he's actually just about equal or slower than they are. As Oskin just got to run his fastest lap since he's in front of these guys, and now Jose Mills will come on track. He's got no front end, no back end, but he's got tires. So Sanford sits in third. He's already 2.2 seconds back from Nate Rogers. He is losing a ton of time. It looks like someone got spun down the back. No idea who it was. Doesn't look like it was anyone in the top 10. Gardner's inching his way up to Nate Rogers. Gardner wants that first short track victory. Sanford's losing about 4/10 a lap. So it looks like he could lose another 8 seconds before this run's over. He could end up in 6th place. He is losing a ton of time every lap to the leader and the people behind them, which it's now a 3-car battle between Riggleman, Tringali, and Jackson for 4th to 6th. Let's go take a look at that. Look at this mess. Tringali's to the outside of Jackson, who's to the bumper of Riggleman. Tringali's got the fresh tires. This could lead to disaster. Ooh, Tringali tried to jump in front of Jackson. He couldn't quite get there. Now this is going to help Sanford because they're all in this big pack. Riggleman's got old tires too. This is going to save Sanford a little bit. Tringali still trying to find the way by Jackson. Looks like Tringali's a little equal with the 11 as far as tires go. But Riggleman's in the way as much as Charles Sanford is. Jackson will get to the inside of Mark Riggleman. That is for 4th place and another 3 points. As Ferranti thought about making it 3 wide. Even though he is several laps down. And oh, he dumped the 11! He dumped the 11 of Charles Jackson, and Jackson will be furious. That will send the 11 all the way back to 7th place. My gosh. That was just straight up rude. Will Charles Jackson pit for his damage at 16 to go? And the answer is no, he's going to keep it on the track, so we'll see if Jackson's able to stay strong for a top 10. But meanwhile, Tringali clears Riggleman for 4th place. Here's Charles Sanford in 3rd, just hoping he doesn't get dumped. Gardner trying to find a way to catch Nate Rogers here in the winding laps. 14 to go that time at the start-finish line. They catch a giant pack of cars. Quentin Moore and Fitzwater, teammates for Gardner, they're catching up with fresher tires. If they get by Gardner easy and they push Nate the way Gardner wants them to go, it could be a team-coordinated victory. But there's also about 10 cars in a blanket in front of him. And that could be a wreck at any moment. "12 laps to go." Jackson remains in 7th. As someone's coming out of pit road up here. See if anyone's short on fuel. It would definitely be a disaster for someone like Riggleman if he had to pit for fuel. So Jackson, while I'm sure he didn't want to get wrecked and he wanted to go for 4th or 3rd, 7th is still not that bad. And now Gardner's catching up to the bumper of Nate Rogers as they hit 10 to go. This is something I don't normally see at short tracks, and that's a battle for the lead at the end of the race, and Gardner's ducking his nose there. Oh, and there was a wreck on the back. Must have been behind him. Now Nate Rogers is stuck in the hornet's nest. Now he knows, depending on what line he picks, he's got to make sure it's the line he wants. Because if Gardner goes to the other line and passes him, it'll be game over for that win. Jefferson's making a crazy move in the middle, 3 wide there between Shearer and Curtis. He made it work. He got in front of Curtis, that is. Nate's running on the bottom, and Gardner got dumped by his teammates. His teammates were side by side, and he gets dumped. That all but seals the deal for Nate Rogers. But does Gardner stay on track? He will. So Gardner should still get 2nd, but he got flat out dumped by his teammates. Nate Rogers, all he has to do is not get in a wreck. You can see he's just trying to stay behind the 17 and the 6. 6 laps to go for Nate Rogers. First win since 2017 if he can get it done. On the last few laps, Riggleman falls down to 7th. Jackson's got a bumper full of Deaver and Marty Johnson as well, it seems. As now here comes Fitzwater and Quentin Moore. On fresher tires, looking to pass Nate Rogers, get a lap back. Not sure if they have any positions they can even gain. Nate's got to be careful here. You don't want to block people with fresher rubber. Four laps to go. We talk about Nate's season. He's 38th in points. This one will definitely shoot him back up closer to the top 30, but he's going to need to be consistent over these next 8 races if he wants to be top 30 in points and make the playoffs on his win. 3 laps to go. Gardner's catching up. The lead's down 7/10. Rogers to the inside of Green as they make contact. Green just about came back down and turned them. Tire wear is in big time for the 83. 2 laps to go for the 83 of Nate Rogers. It's down another 6/10. I don't think he's going to have time to catch, though. It's stalling out. Gardner's stalling out. White flag in the air for the 83 of Nate Rogers. And there, yep, seeing nothing gained there, especially because of the 40 being in the way. Tringali made it up the 3rd. Checkered flag waves. It'll be Nate Rogers getting the win here at Steelback Stadium. As someone spun out earlier. Gardner will come home second. Nico Tringali third. Ryan Brommer fourth. Looking at the rest of the results. Oh, it must have been Sanford who got spun, or he just lost that much time. Brommer fourth. Charles Jackson fifth. Goldever sixth. Marty Johnson seventh. Charles Jackson eighth. Riggleman ninth. And Kev Shearer 10th. Well, that has been this race from Steelback Stadium. So let's take you to look at the replays. All right, let's look at Austin Alves first. He just turned down too much, got into Jefferson. Oh, that's right, they were already wrecked up ahead with Oskin and Mills. And now Alves just had nowhere to go. See if Parker gets involved, Sorlin, Evans, Downey got clipped. So let's actually go up ahead to the 18 and see what happened here. Oh, and Oskin turned down and just dove it into the corner and just straight up got into the 18. There you see Qualls' impact as a blimp. Mendes barely shaped by there. And then there it is, Alves, nowhere to go. So next, let's go to the 5. So it's right about here, I believe. Same thing. Judging from the looks of things. Yep, Evans just dives it in and gets into the 5. And it looks like Sands and Miller had gotten together there too. And oh man, a hard impact for Sorlin. Front end first, and you see Sands and Miller who made contact. They end up spinning here just in front of them. So that's what happened there. So we'll take a look at what happened to the 7 here near the end of the race. Was it his teammates or was it himself? It looks like Moore is right there on his bumper. Fitzwater dives it in, and Moore just will barely clip. He's getting back in the gas earlier than Gardner, and I think they forgot. Oh yeah, and then right there, boom, finishing move. Back ends it at about 58 miles an hour, and then he'll keep it going. And then let's see, did Sanford get wrecked here at the end of this race? Or was he just that slow? Oh yes, he was actually. William Brock finally dumped Charles Sanford, coming to the white flag. He was just that worn on tires. He was in the way so much. Someone went to make a move. I think Brock was trying to cut in front of Brommer there, and he just got on the Sanford, who cut down a little bit. And Sanford gets turned, and thankfully for him, there's a lot of extra pavement right here. 360 keeps it going. And ultimately cost him a top 5 as there goes Jackson. Here comes Deaver and others. There you can see Deaver going by in the 3 and 4. As did Marty Johnson, but I don't think Johnson was for position, was he? Oh, he was. So yep, so that's how Sanford fell from 5th to 8th. And with that, I'll see you guys next week at LA Center. Trucks come back, and this Cup, it's going to be an interesting race, so see you then.